Good morning, my friends. It is the morning time. I actually have no idea what time it is. There are a lot of things that we need to get done today. There is a party. Everything needs to be ready by 7:30 tonight. So what I need to do is make a schedule, like a plan. When do things have to be done by? Have I done that and today is the party? No. We're gonna figure it out. I just woke up and thought about this, honestly, so that's on me, but we'll get it done. Okay, let's figure that out, and then I'll come back later with the schedule when we get started. So we have a game plan. Always have a game plan, everyone.
Welcome back to the table, everybody. This week, this is probably one of my favorite weeks of the year. And why, you may ask? It's birthday week, baby. Clark, she's out here making another lap around the sun, if you will. And my birthday's always kind of been a big deal to me. I'm not gonna lie. I know some people don't love birthdays. I love birthdays. I love them. I love my birthday. I love your birthday. All the birthdays. I just feel like birthdays are a time to celebrate us as people. And I don't think we celebrate ourselves enough. I think life is inevitably incredibly difficult. And you just need to celebrate and be grateful and enjoy things as much as humanly possible. And I think birthdays are a perfect opportunity for that. So, one of the things that I really wanted to do for my birthday was just share it with the people that I love and appreciate. And that will be happening all during my birthday week. But as you know, here at Clark's Table, the one thing we love to do is share some love, share some food, and share some good vibes with people. I think that is the thing that really sparks so much joy in my heart. And what better way to do that than to throw my own little birthday dinner? To be fair, one of my friends who is coming, his birthday also just happened. So it's kind of like a celebration of the both of us. And I think it'll just be fun. I love having people together. I love it. I love people. They fill up my cup. You know what I mean? We got a lot to do today. I am telling you right now, this party is not starting. It's like more than 5 hours away. But we do have to start prepping some things now because I made this difficult for myself. What else would it be? And of course, I chose to wear white because almost every year on my birthday, I try to make a birthday outfit. I love to wear things that I've made on my birthday. Today's not my birthday, but we are celebrating it, and I made this like oversized shirt that I wear as a dress with biker shorts underneath of it for modesty purposes, more like for public decency purposes. I just always love to show something off on my birthday too. Here's the game plan. We have a little spreadsheet over there of everything that needs to be prepped. The main thing that we need to get done right now is the party is called Clark's Birthday al Fresco. And it's kind of like an Italian themed party. It's going to be a lot of tomatoes and Italian food, and think of it like a little Italian summerside picnic. I'm manifesting my Italian villa that I'm going to have someday. You know what I mean? The thing that's going to take the longest isn't actually going to take us the longest. It just needs time to set up. And for dessert, we're making tiramisu. I'm also going to be putting out cookies that I made in my YouTube video last week that we christened our new KitchenAid mixer with. But I made those like 3 days ago, so don't worry. They're not old. Don't act like this is like a week old cookie. It's 3 days. That's a little secret for y'all. So right now we need to prep the tiramisu so it can like sit and get in that ooey gooey delicious state. And then we're going to start my mushroom bolognese because I am also making a lasagna. Lasagna feeds people like it ain't nobody's business. And everything I'm making is vegetarian, One of my friends is vegetarian, and so I figured I love vegetarian food. Let's just make the whole shebang vegetarian. Although I'm doing a charcuterie board, and I did get some antipasto for that, so it's not fully meat free, but you know what I'm saying. Let's go over the meal plan. This is everything that's gonna be on the menu, or everything that I guess I should say that we have to make. I'll show you at the end, like everything out, our whole spread. We're doing a table, we're doing a cocktail bar, we're doing it up. We have so much to do, so we need to start now. Let's just start. Come on. I honestly don't know why I decided to make this so difficult for myself, making tiramisu. I really debated if it was worthwhile, and I just couldn't decide on a dessert that was going to give the same effect. Hold on, we don't need the yolk. We need the yolks, not the whites. Of course, this first one doesn't want to crack now. Come on. But tiramisu is not the easiest thing to make in the world. I was like, do I really want to do this and risk messing it up? And I said, why not? If I mess it up, there's still cookies. That's what we went with. I should crack these with a knife. I know, people. We're about speed today. Okay, we're doing 5 extra large egg yolks. And I know I got a shell in the egg whites. That's a problem for future me. Okay? And then to this, we are going to add 1 cup of sugar. I am following a recipe for this tiramisu, so don't get it twisted. I don't just know how to make this off the top of my head. That would be wild. Our mascarpone, because it needs to be room temp. All right, now we're going to start whisking this. So, here's why this is difficult. We're going to need a thermometer. And I forget what this is called, like the sugar egg mixture. But basically, we're going to whisk this together just a little bit right now, just to get everything incorporated. Then, once my water over here comes up to a boil, we are going to put this on the stove. And then we're going to heat it slowly until it reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit and doubles in size. This is the most difficult step of this, I promise you. Okay, let's do that. Because this is just starting to kind of bubble. I'm going to move this onto here and start whisking. Now, this recipe did say to use superfine sugar, and it said if you used regular sugar, it was fine. Just might be a little grainy until the sugar dissolves when it's getting more set up. And I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. I wanted to see if it was heating up. It's not. It's going to take some time, okay? Hang out here. We're keeping a close eye on this, stirring and checking the temp. We need to get to 165 and then pull it. So we're at 131 right now. And we just got to keep up stirring, or I should say whisking. I just keep whisking and then checking the temp because I really don't want it to go much over 165. It's going good. Low and slow has been the name of the game with this. You can tell it's getting much paler in color. That's what we want. All right, y'all. We're pulling her. She's hit her peak. She's coming off over here. This is off the heat now. We're just going to keep kind of occasionally mixing it until it cools a little, because we do need it to be not hot anymore in order for us to add in our mascarpone cheese. So we'll mix this in then. And while that's cooling, I'm going to get some whipped cream started. I have heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to just put it in my KitchenAid because I'm blessed, mama. Whole pint heavy whipping cream going in the mixer. I'm not pulling the mixer over. It's living over there right now, so that's where it's going to be. While all of this is happening, I'm also going to make some executive decisions. I do have, here's my thing. I have a couple options when it comes to the coffee. You need a cup of coffee. We need 2 cups of coffee. My dilemma is that I am extremely caffeine sensitive. So what I would really like to do is just make this with the instant coffee that I have. But I feel like it makes more sense to do it with the decaf, so I'll enjoy it more. So I'm going to use the decaf. Can you imagine we break out the illy for that? No, I cannot imagine. And then I don't have like a traditional coffee maker. I do have a Chemex though, so I think I'm actually going to brew it. I'm going to break out the Chemex and brew it in there. In this kitchen, we're always learning to be multitaskers. This is getting cooled off. It's getting there. Okay, let's brew some coffee. Got the Chemex out from the trenches. Haven't used her. I don't drink hot coffee when it's hot out, so she gets put away in place for the cold brew machine. But she's always here. Letting our gooseneck kettle come up. And I am gonna, it says strong coffee. You're supposed to use espresso. I do have decaf espresso pods, but they're Nespresso and it would blow through my whole stash if I had to do all of them. So honestly, I think I'm just gonna dump a bunch of this in because I don't really use it that often. And then if I still don't deem it strong enough, I will put an espresso shot in it. I'm keeping an eye on the cream because I don't want it to split. Then I'll have butter, and this will be terrible. This is like almost up to temp, so I'm gonna prep it. I could make Chemex coffee in my sleep. I feel like once you move to this, you're like, I'm never getting a pot of coffee ever again in my life. I feel like I would for the nostalgia purposes. That's just me though. Am I like really gonna bloom this coffee all that much? No, because we're just shooting for strong, yummy coffee here. We're not shooting for the quality that the Chemex can deliver in a regular setting, if you know what I mean. Our water's not quite to temp. It's 101. I like it at 105. Let's bloom our coffee grinds. Make sure everything is nice and saturated. It smells not bad. I feel like I might just put in one of my decaf espresso shots because they're much better coffee, honestly. This is also maybe a little too coarse ground, but we're going to find out together. And I'm doing 600 grams of water for this just so there's enough that probably is going to get stuck in the ground so that I'll have 2 cups at the end. Still going. We'll let this drip. And now let's... This is cool. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, we have some mascarpone cheese. I'm going to do this with a spatula because I don't want to overmix it. My whipped cream is like just starting to get there, so we got to keep an eye on her. Cheese in. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Okay, we're waiting on the cream now. We're going to add that in here, kind of fold it in. And then we're going to let this chill in the fridge. And we need to let it chill for like 4 hours. That's why this is taking so long. Or why, I guess I should say this is why we're starting so early. This is where we're at right now. It's like kind of fluffy, kind of sticking to the spoon. We're going to let it keep going. I need it with a little bit more stiffness to hold up to this because this isn't, it's not warm, but it's not cold. And I just don't want the heat to then cause this to be like, bleh, bleh, you know? This is looking good though. This is looking good. You see how dark this is? We need this to chill too because we need it to be cold to dip the lady fingers in, which I bought I bought them from the store. I was not making these. No sir, no ma'am. We're getting there, everyone. Don't worry. Be patient. Be patient. Did it split? No. I'm like just on the edge of it. I got distracted, but it's fine. It's still fine. You see how now she's like, she's a little dense, but she's okay. She didn't split. We're fine. That was scary. That was scary, everyone. Oh, she still looks beautiful. Okay, let's fold her in. Gently fold. Okay. Here's my little pro tip for y'all. If you ever are making a recipe and it says to fold something in, the best advice I ever got with this was to go around the edges and then through the center. Around the edges and then through the center. So you're like kind of breaking it up, kind of not. The goal is to get everything incorporated without getting the air out. So you don't want to take this like a traditional mixing bowl, but you want to make sure that we are incorporating everything, taking our time. Yeah, that nails it, honestly. That looks beautiful. This is her. I'm going to let her set up in the fridge for a little bit, for like 30 minutes. And let this cool. We'll assemble the tiramisu and then we'll pop it back in the fridge until the party starts so it can sit for like 4 hours. All right, y'all. Here's where we are really going to get into the meat and tomatoes, if you will, of tonight's meal. I have 3-packs of the San Marzano tomatoes. These are whole peeled tomatoes. Do I love to get these? Not really, but they sell them at Costco. And here was the thought process behind this, right? The thought process was, I can get these. These are like, I always love to make sauce and things with San Marzanos. But the issue, why did these not have pull tabs and those do? What happened here? Do you see this? I was robbed. And now I have to use a can opener. Okay, we'll do these 3 first, and then if I need more, we'll shift. We bought pasta sauce from Costco a couple weeks ago, and Aaron was saying that plain marinara just like wasn't his jive right now. So we normally get the Rayos, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but we normally get their marinara. The only other one they had was a brand I shall not name, and I think it tastes gross. I think it tastes kind of chemically. It's just not giving what it needs to give. So these are just peeled whole tomatoes, and I'm just going to start by putting these into a big old pot. We are going to save the jars, okay? These jars, they are part of our decor for tonight. Like I said, we're giving Italian summer picnic. So we have some fresh flowers that are going to go in the tomato jars. So I'm just gonna, I won't need all this sauce for tonight because this is just going in the lasagna, but it's good to have on hand and it freezes well. So, oh, I don't know. I think we can do more. Okay, I'll open one. I am really trying to avoid getting any of this on my dress. Pray for me. Could I put the apron on? Be quiet. We're not talking about that. You know, I also feel like I always use the can opener wrong. Like, I don't know how I managed to do that, but I feel like I'm always using it wrong. Because it always comes out like this, where it's like half on, half off. I don't like that. And then I just kind of ghetto open it until I can get some stuff out. Basically what we're going to do... Oh, you know what I also just remembered? We're also making focaccia bread. And I need to let that rise. Okay, hold on. My focaccia recipe is in here. Where I do not know. Muffins, beverages. I put it in appetizers. Focaccia bread, yeah. It probably needs like 3 hours. 2 hours. Okay, 2 to 3 hours. We'll see how she goes. Bubble, bubble. Before I let this all consume me, let me get the active yeast out because we need to get this kind of started. We're going to start with our 2.5 cups of warm water. I'm going to put in some honey, about 2 tablespoons, and then a packet of dry active yeast. I know, not sourdough. Have you seen Becca recently? She would not be helping us if this were the time. This has to sit for a little bit. That's why we need to let it get to a bubbly state. Now that that's started, let's build up some flavor in this. Let's start with our basics, some salt and pep, and then onion powder, garlic powder, and then I'm going to go in with my herbs de poblanos. These are from Los Poblanos. It's a lavender farm in New Mexico. Been using this for years. I actually got it at Terrain. I restocked it the other week at Terrain Cafe. Shocked that they carried it. I used to work for a small business that carried it. It's like Italian seasoning, but with lavender in it. It's so good. And then we're going to do an herb bundle. We're going to give this a good little stir, get everything nice and incorporated. Right now, we're just going to let this sit because after this, we're going to blend it to get the whole tomatoes out of there. About 3 bay leaves. Don't worry, I have plenty. We're going to get a lid on her, let her start cooking down. She's on medium heat, low and slow, baby. Let's get this focaccia bread going. This is Big Daddy, the biggest bowl you've ever seen in your life, probably. I have it for when I make like multiple loaves of bread. Today, she's just the biggest bowl we got. Okay? And we need to put 5 cups of flour in here. So you do what you gotta do. Focaccia bread was like the bread that got me into wanting to make bread. This recipe is so easy and it makes a ton of bread. So it's great for a crowd. 5 cups of flour. And then we need to do, the recipe says 5 teaspoons of salt. This is what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little for good luck. Okay. We are just going to add this in. Mix her up. Once it gets mostly incorporated, I'll switch to a normal size spoon or an appropriate size spoon for this. I'm just going to get in here with my hands. Make sure everything is good and incorporated. When making focaccia, don't be hasty and add water, because it'll come together. Just trust the process. See? She's fine. Now all we're going to do is do a little drizzle of olive oil over the top, and then we'll just get like a damp rag. I usually like to do the rag in warm water. Just I think it helps a little bit. Slightly damp. See, I don't even really wet it the whole way. And then we'll let it sit. I'll check on it in 2 hours. You know, I'm trying really hard to hydrate, people. If you know me, you know I'm like notoriously bad at drinking water. I'm doing it though. I'm trying. Okay, we're going to assemble the tiramisu now. And we're doing it in a glass 9x9 because I think that'll be pretty. We are going to need lady fingers. Oh, you know what? Here, let me show you this. I have this one that's not quite a 9x9, but it's much deeper. I feel like we'd want that. The 9x9 I have is also glass, but it's much skinnier. Maybe not that much, but enough that I want some depth to her. Another thing I was reading online said you could put coffee liqueur in this. Again, they don't make decaf, so your girl's not doing it. She's not. These are cut. Look at this. What do you think? Okay, we have some decisions we could make now. They're cut in half. So do we want to do thin layers? I think that would be fun. Do them like more soaked, because I could rip these into 3s. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm committed. I saw the vision. Look at this. No! Pause. Okay, everything is fine. It's not really, but we're gonna make it work. Okay? That was scary. Okay, I'm 3 short now. So we're gonna do this. These are just like extra absorbent. Okay? And I didn't know. So what I'm deciding to do now is we're going to do this in a controlled manner as to not over soak them. It said dip. I dipped and I panicked, okay? The last time I made tiramisu, it didn't do that. New experiences for everyone. And tiramisu is ugly. I don't care what y'all say. Good tiramisu is ugly. It's like sloppy and messy. It was thrown together out of love, okay? Good tiramisu hits like that. More coffee. Beautiful. Is she getting a little lopsided? Maybe. Maybe, but you didn't see it. All right? And that's her. Chill in the fridge until party time. It's been a little bit. I have my pasta cooking for the pasta salad, and the lasagna noodles are done. They're just sitting here. That way that stuff is done. Next I want to work on just prepping some things. We can chop a bunch of vegetables. We need to juice and slice a bunch of fruit for little canned cocktails that we're doing. And our sauce is also pretty much done. It just needs to be blended. And then I would really like if this could also kind of sit for a little bit longer. I'm debating whether I want to make this a true mushroom bolognese and let it sit, or just keep letting it sit and make sauce and then do layers of veggies. I'm thinking about that. But while we wait, I figured we would just go through some more prep. I'm going to chop up a bunch of veggies for the pasta salad. I have a bunch of these. These are like the saving grace of parties. You can get like a 30 pack of them at Costco for like not even $12. They're so cheap. And then we just are going to start assembling. I'm doing caprese skewers, but I have these little cutesy tomato toothpicks to put them on. So we're going to prep those. We'll put those in there. We're going to get our fruit started. So I figured I would just check in with you. We're going to do a bunch of prep work now. Chop and slice and juicing. And we'll check back in once we get more to the time where we're going to start baking and assembling. Our focaccia timer just went off, and I finished these little skewers, but plain like this, for me, they're just a little bland. So what we're going to do to finish them is I'm just going to drizzle them with a little balsamic glaze. This will add some flavor, and because we still got some time until the party, it gives it time to soak in. And then I'm going to do some dried basil because I want it to stick. And fresh basil's not going to do that. Perfect. Okay. These are done. They are going in the fridge. Also, our focaccia timer is done. Now you may be like, awesome. We're getting in there. We're not. Okay? We're not really. We're like halfway with this. Tough. I know. Basically, here's where our dough's at. It has risen, definitely. What we're going to do now is coat this in olive oil down here so that way none of this sticks, deglugs, you know. up on the sides. She's good. She's not sticking. Okay? Then we're going to make sure this dough is deflated. We're going to give it a good mix. Erin's going to hate cleaning this bowl later. Sorry, babe. Now, we're going to take it, put it into our pan that we are going to bake it in. And then we are going to let this sit for another hour. Just going to spread her out real good. And then she's got to chill again, okay? She's just going to be waiting. I'm going to start chopping and prepping veggies for the pasta salad because I'm doing the last round of tricolor noodles. And I want this to sit for a little while and absorb the flavor, but I love using these tricolored noodles. I just finished cooking these off. And then I need to make the dressing and chop up a bunch of veggies. So that's what we'll do next. All right, y'all. We're in the final stretch here. The last thing, it's about a little more than an hour before the party starts. So basically at this point, everything that I need to go into the oven needs to get into the oven. Our lasagna just needs to be assembled. And then the last thing that also needs to get finished is zucchini pie. So I got this recipe from TikTok. It's from Leah Victoria. Her handle is Leah Cucina. And she's got the best recipes in the world. Like classic, good, Sicilian, Italian recipes. And this one is super easy. So it's just squash, summer squash, zucchini. You can use whatever. I got like a tricolor pack because you need 3 zucchini, 4 eggs, cup of Bisquick, some melted butter. You just season it. Some cheese goes in there. It's really easy. You don't even, all the vegetables go in raw. You don't got to cook them down or nothing. You just mix it all together and go. And I'm just baking that in one of the, wow, did you see that? Tell me I need to get my knife sharpened, please. We'll do 2 first. I don't know if I'm going to need the 3rd. But you just chop everything real small. Throw it in, bake it, and that's it. I'm basically in the home stretch here, y'all. Wow. Alright, y'all. Our focaccia timer also just went off. So what I'm going to do is just top this with some olive oil. And then dimple it. And that's good to go in. As is. I know I could do flavors, but I just want it to be plain because everything else has a lot of flavor going on. We just want something nice and simple for the bread. And then we're going to layer up our lasagna. And then everything just kind of needs to bake. And that's when we will return for our canned cocktail moment, okay? Good evening, everyone. It is 3 minutes till midnight. Post-party. We are putting things away. It was wonderful. I just have to say, I have the best friends. Building community is so beautiful. And we have lots of leftovers. Everyone loved it. I loved it. And I'm happy we got to do this. And I'm happy y'all got to be a part of the journey. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we will see you at the table next time. Bye! And happy birthday to me!